Hey guys, it's me Kaylin, and today I'm going to be doing my May book haul. So, we do have a special guest in the background here. His name's Loki. He decided to barge in towards the end of my last video, which I couldn't be bothered to change my shirt, guys. I'll change my hair for you, but I can't be bothered to change my shirt, so let's get into the books. Oh, bless you. Let's get into it. The first 3 books that I accumulated this month are my Book of the Month books. I was only gonna get 1, and then I saw 2 books that I really wanted, so I splurged. The first book is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think everyone at this point knows what this book is about, so I won't give you a recap. But I haven't read this book yet. I'm super excited to. I was going to read it this past month in May, but I had a different 5-star book, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be a 5-star book. And I had a different one, and I didn't want to put them like too close to each other to and then read like a crappy book and put myself in a reading slump. So I'm saving this for when I'm kind of feeling on a low, which I feel like is coming up because I just want to read this book. The next book was my first 5-star in the month of May. I talked about it in my wrap-up, so if you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. But it is With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo, and you guys, this book is my new child, so welcome to the world. Let's just welcome my child with love, guys. So this book is a pretty new release, so I'll tell you quickly what it's about. It's about a girl named Amani who is a teen mom who is also in love with cooking. It's her senior year of high school, so she's kind of like deciding what she wants to do with her life, that type of thing, while also co-parenting with the father of the child and also maybe falling in love. Who knows where the world will take her. And look at how beautiful this book is. Mine, if you guys haven't seen the normal Under the Dust jacket of this, I think you need to go check it out because it's gorgeous. But mine, since it's the Book of the Month, is like pretty plain. So that's a little disappointing, but it's fine. I'm okay with it. I still love her. My last Book of the Month pick for this month I have already read. I read it during the month of April, and I talked about it in my wrap-up there as well. And it is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. I gave this book 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I loved it so much I painted the edges. I also painted the Hate You Give black edges. So this one is like black with red, and then that one is red with black. I know, guys. I know. I'm so artsy. I did listen to this on audiobook, and I would definitely recommend listening to it on audiobook because there are raps in this book that I don't know if I would appreciate the same if I hadn't heard it on audiobook. So this book is about a girl named Bree, and she wants to become a famous rapper. That's basically all you really need to know about this book. This is what the back looks like. It's just like a little microphone with the cord going around, so I think that's super cute. Also I think I thought something interesting about this was that on the cover Bree's actually wearing Tim's, as you can see. And in the book, if you've read it, there's like a part where like Tim's play like a significant, maybe not significant, but play an important role in her character development, I would say. So I think that's super cute that they incorporated it on the cover. The next book I got at Savers, and I don't really go to Savers for anything, but my mom and I were already in the area, so we were like, hey, why not, let's just stop there quickly. I was a little disappointed because all the books at Savers are freaking like $4 or $5, which that's still a good price for books. But like when it's secondhand books that look like that, I'm kind of like, do we really need to be doing this? So I actually got The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. And it's in practically new condition. I think I spent like $4 or $5 on it, so that's still good for like a new hardcover. And the cover of this feels so interesting. Like it feels like textured with real like water. I don't know what this is about really, besides that like Ruth Ware writes like thriller mystery books, and that's why I picked this one. Also, I'm pretty sure this takes place on a boat, because I remember watching one of Lala's videos right after I had bought this, and she was like, yeah, I didn't like that book, but that could be because it was set on a boat. So hopefully I like this book. Hopefully it's interesting. It's pretty big. Like, guess we'll see. Moving on to my Goodwill stack from this past month. It's a lot, guys, so let's just keep going. The first book I have here is Who We Are by One Direction. Did I need this book? Absolutely not. Did I want this book? I guess so, because I bought it. Basically, I bought this book for nostalgia's sake. It's like a huge book, but also I'm pretty sure there's pictures and oh yeah, this is gonna be fine to get through. Oh, and the words are so big. So I think this is going to be a fast read when I'm feeling a little nostalgic and want to go back and see my boys back before they were separated. Look at them. Look at them. I'm in love. The next book I got at Goodwill, I also read during the month of May, so if you want to hear my thoughts, go watch my May wrap-up. But it is The Witch Doesn't Burn in This One by Amanda Lovelace. This is a poetry collection. It's like a feminist poetry collection, I would say. I haven't read any of her other books, so I'm not sure, like, I can't really compare it to them, because I heard her first book was a lot better than the second one, and then the first and second one were a lot better than the third one. So that doesn't really give me that high of hopes, but I did like this one. There were some aspects of it that I wasn't quite feeling, so I couldn't give it a full, I had to give it a 0.5 rating. I couldn't give it a full 5-star rating, is what I meant. So I gave it a 4.5 instead. I don't really have anything else to say about this besides, like, I got the cool Target exclusive edition, so that's interesting. The next book that I have here is, oh, she's a little beat up, is Will to Murder by Gail Fetchinger. I'm not sure how to say that. I got this book because, here, let me see. It has to do with the Glenshane Mansion in Duluth, Minnesota, and I'm from Minnesota, so I feel like a kind of connection to this. My mom read this book when I was younger, and she said it was pretty good. But guys, I'm sorry, but this book is kind of like already, like, it's a good size. I think it's like, it's 400 pages, but the words are so small, it makes me kind of nervous to read this. But I'm really into true crime, and I'm really into Minnesota because I love her. So hopefully I'll be able to get through this quickly when I do pick it up. And it's not in the best condition, but, oh, you can't even tell. Yeah, it's not in the super best condition, but I still love her, so. The next two books, we're throwing it back a little bit, ladies and gents and whoever. I read this series, well, I'll just show you what it is. So the first book is I'd Tell You I Love You, But Then I'd Have to Kill You by Allie Carter. And the second one is Cross My Heart and Hope to Spy, also by Allie Carter. This is the first book. This is the second book. I owned the third and fourth book in this series already, and I went to Goodwill and I saw the first one and I wanted to get it, but my boyfriend was like, you probably don't need to get it, like, are you gonna read it, like, put it back. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right, like, I won't get it, it's fine. And then I went home and was spending time with my family, and I went to Goodwill with my mom, and we saw the second book. And mind you guys, this is like hours apart from each other. Like, well, like days, but like I had to drive home to my house. These Goodwills were not by each other at all. And I saw the second book of this and I was like, that's a sign. I have to go back to the first Goodwill to get the first book. So now I have the first, second, third, and fourth book. I think there are 6 total. And I've only read the first one and second one completely through, even though I've owned the third and fourth book. So that's cool. I have started reading the third one like multiple times, but it was kind of hard because I forgot who the characters were. And I forgot like what was really happening, besides that these books take place like at a spy school, hence why I got into them. Yeah, these are middle grade, or like middle grade esque, in case you guys didn't know. That's why I said we're throwing it back, because I don't know if you guys read these when you were in middle school, but I definitely did. I'm currently in the middle of rereading the first book. I'm almost done with it. And then hopefully I move on to the second one and I can find out what the rest of the series is about. I mean, I'll talk about this more in my June wrap-up when I finish this book. But this book has like a lot of like low-key, subtle, like anorexia mentions. So that's interesting. Like, I never noticed that when I was a kid, obviously. But like one of the characters at the very beginning says that she only eats 800 calories a day, which when I'm a kid, like, you don't know if that's a lot or a little or whatever, but now like realizing like 800 calories, girl, I can eat that in one sitting. So that's the next book that I have here is probably one of the biggest books on this list. And it is The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. I got this at Goodwill as well. It's in like perfect condition, you guys. Yeah, I have no idea what this is about. I've only read Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. I do have The Cuckoo's Calling. Haven't read it yet. And I actually had The Cuckoo's Calling on my most intimidated books list. And let's just say, let's add this to the book list, because let's see how many pages this book is. 503. So if I ever do the Do I Have That Book challenge, I don't know why that popped into my head, but I know on that challenge there's like a book between 500 and 510 pages. So I'm pretty sure this is the only book that would fall in that category. So that's great. Also, the back of this is super cute. The next book we have here is also quite a throwback. And I was actually just talking about this with some people on Twitter about my love for Nancy Drew. I used to read Nancy Drew all the time when I was a kid. Like, Nancy Drew and Harry Potter is what like basically got me into reading. I also love the Nancy Drew video games, and that also got me into video games. So isn't that interesting? She's really been there through thick and thin with me. But this one is The Secret of the Old Clock, and this is the first one. There are quite a few. 50 additional titles in hardcover, it says. So there's at least 50. And since I got this at Goodwill and it's a children's book, I got it for 50 cents. So that was also a great find. I do, after getting this one, I'm kind of hoping that I can collect some of the other ones, especially because this one is in like a really nice condition. Yeah. Also, I just noticed this book has pictures. Wow. I never knew that. Neato. Okay, guys, we're getting through them. The next book I have is Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. I haven't read any of her books, so we'll see how this goes. I heard this one is like one of her best ones, so I'm super excited about that. I don't really know what it's about besides that it's like mystery thriller because that's what Gillian Flynn writes. So I don't want to read the back of it and find out because I don't want to spoil myself. Also, I painted the edges of this one as well. I just had a bunch of paint, so I was like, let's just paint these, you know? But this is a soft cover, and I don't know how that's gonna work, like pulling the pages apart. So that makes me a little nervous about that. It's fine though. The next book we have is My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry by Fredrik Backman. I already had this book actually, but I bought it for my mom because she actually bought it. She bought this version for me, this copy, sorry. My mom bought this copy for me Valentine's Day like 2 years ago, I think, and I haven't read it yet. But I saw like they had one that was in like perfect condition and still had the sticker on it at Goodwill, and so I was like, oh, I'll get this for my mom and then we can read it together. So shout out to you, Mom. I don't really know what this is about, except I feel like there's magical realism in this book. That could be completely wrong. I don't really know. But the little girl on the cover with her dog is super cute, so moving on. The next book we have here is a little big, and it is, oh, I did not even mean to say, this book's a little big, and it's Big Little Lies by Liane Moriarty. Yeah, I think I had this problem earlier when I was talking about one of her books, but it's fine. I don't know what this book is about as well, but I've just heard a lot of good things. I'm pretty sure my mom read this book and gave it 5 stars, and I heard the HBO, I have the like TV version. I heard the HBO show is like super good, so hopefully after I finish this book I can watch that show. Guys, the stack is getting so big I can lean on it. Speaking of, here's our next book, Wicked by Gregory Maguire. If you watched my April wrap-up, or not even my April wrap-up, sorry, my April book haul, you'll know that I hauled Wicked in a different version than this one, but I found this one at the store, and this one's in a little bit better condition than that one, and this one matches my second one. I have the second book in this series, Son of a Witch, and that one matches this book a little better. And then also it has like pictures from the musical, so I thought that was super interesting. And then I planned on giving my other copy of Wicked to my boyfriend's sister because it was a gift from their mom, so she can have that. The last book I got at Goodwill this month is a book I already kind of owned. It is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I used to have all 3 books in the trilogy, and then I gave them to my brother, and then I wanted them back, and he only gave me Catching Fire and Mockingjay. Dude, if you're watching this video, like, where's my copy of The Hunger Games? I got sick of waiting around for you guys, and since this is a children's book, got it for really cheap. And it's in really nice condition too. It was with the other, like at Goodwill, it was sitting with the second and third book, so I feel kind of bad about splitting them up, but my copies of Catching Fire and Mockingjay were in hard copy, and so I wanted it to match. And the last book on this list is another super anticipated release of this year, and it just came out at the very end of May, and it is Let Me Hear a Rhyme by Tiffany D. Jackson. Look at this cover, you guys. Like, it's so pretty. I love it. I pre-ordered this book actually, so that just shows you how much I was excited for it. This book follows the best friends and sister of a guy who was killed, and he was like a super good rapper, but he never showed his work to anyone. And after he passes away, his friends and his sister are like, hey, let's like show the world his music. So that's why I picked up this one. It was the setting for this is also Brooklyn in 1998, so that's like super throwback. That's like when I was born practically, which is another reason why I was like, oh, that'd be interesting to like read about life back then before I was conscious of the world. Alright guys, so that wraps up my May book haul. As you can see, I got a little too many books, probably more than I should have this month. But do I care? It's fine. I got them all for really cheap, so I don't feel bad. I hope you guys are all having a great and wonderful day. Let me know what you think of these books. Let me know how you're feeling. Let's just talk. See you later, guys. Bye.